Well, good night, good evening, everyone. Good evening. A lot of people here dressed very nicely, dressed very fashionably. You can see, as my friend Melody pointed out, I'm wearing my pink shorts, so I'm dressed very casually tonight. Now, a lot of comedians like myself, when they're getting started out, they tend to dress in a very serious manner, wear a lot of sports coats, look very intense like this. They get more relaxed, they get more famous, but really early on they're wearing suits, which to me means a very interesting situation where men whose career is based upon how well they can tell a dick joke are very concerned with being taken seriously. So there's a lot of serious things in the world. One of the serious things that is in the news a lot is the spying scandal. The NSA, the CIA, the FBI, and other international criminal organizations have been spying on people in America and all throughout the world. In America, they're spying on the record of about a billion phone records a day. That's a billion with the B. It's over 200 million people. Now, what gets to me is if you were actually attempting to look through the records of 200 million people, just to clear them. I mean, even if you were going at 1,000 a day, the war on terror would be over before you even finished checking the list. And I can imagine that there's actually a guy, like, checking a list. It's like, Albert Aronson, not a terrorist. Julia Alba, not a terrorist. Umberto Astazewski, not a terrorist. Mohammed, check that name! Check it again! Check it again! So, when you read all these news with all these abuses of power, you get really depressed. So, one of the things I like to do to put myself in a better mood is I watch a lot of documentaries. And a really cool documentary I saw about a week ago was all on extreme sports. Now, I can respect people who really devote themselves to extreme sports, but it always seemed a little weird to me. It was like playing a normal sport, but you just, increase the level of danger. It's like a guy like, oh, I'm going to climb a mountain, but I'm going to do it blindfolded. Or some guy's like, I'm going to ski, but out of a plane. Just something that wouldn't be dangerous, but they try to make it. And I figure, if you're really looking for more danger, then you should just not pussy around about it. You should just go for it. Like, I would like to see, the 500-meter freestyle in a pool filled with piranha. You're just watching this, in the Olympics, it's like, yes, all right, there's the gun, and Michael Phelps is in the lead. He is doing quite well. Yes, they seem to be gaining on him. They are getting, ooh. Well, he did win the race, but will have to learn to swim next year without legs. Or, maybe football, but with a live explosive on the field. Just you're watching the game and everyone's going like, yes, Ronaldo has the ball, he's advancing, he's about to score. Boom! Well, Ronaldo this year has managed to set a record for sending a ball across the field in record speed. Unfortunately, that ball was his head. But I do not think he'll be back in the fall next year. Can't be sure. I mean, if you're going to play extreme sports, I really think you should just play Russian roulette or shut the fuck up. At least from my opinion. Like I said, so I was watching a documentary on sports, and another documentary I watched was a very interesting one on the twist. Now, the twist, if you don't know, was a dance that was very popular in the late 50s, early 1960s, and went like this. This was the twist. Very popular dance. For some reason, this dance just changed the world. Like, people just started twisting, and then people lost their minds. I mean, you could start twisting, and people would actually get, hey Becky, did you see the way he was twisting over there? We should talk to him. So people started twisting. People did it all over the world. And then Elvis. You may have heard of Elvis. He was the first white man to make a successful career out of stealing black people's music. Became very popular, but he did the twist once on television, and white Christians in America just lost their minds. That he just twisted one time when he was singing a song, lost their minds. Next time, they had to film the show from up here, and there were these 4 gigantic guys who were just looking at him the whole time. You ain't thinking about twisting, Elvis, are you? So, people kept twisting, and eventually, as they would twist, stuff like this would happen. And this became the dance, the jerk. So people were twisting and jerking, and the 1950s and 60s was an interesting time. It was the first time that men could actually impress women by displaying themselves twisting and jerking. But as these dances grew on, more people attempted more complex dances. So, a guy would come up, Dave, you see them twisting over there. but can eat mashed potato. And the mashed potato is basically a dance that did this. I'm not shitting you. That was a dance that could actually get you laid in the early 1960s. But people would keep doing it, and people would keep coming up with new dances. So they had the mashed potato, and people would start to get worried. They would see all these young people doing all these different dances. They would do the twist, instead the jerk, the mashed potato, and people would be like, they're doing that. But what if they start doing this? And they did. That was a dance called the monkey. And people were going crazy with the monkey. They would start climbing everything. They would just start being everywhere. And then, finally, when they started climbing, they were able to do a new dance that was invented by a very young Barack Obama in the 1960s called the spa. Thank you very much, Shawn Barron.
Allez.